So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the new ROBOMASTER EP. Now this was launched on Monday and is only available in Hong Kong and one or two other countries at the moment. Now hopefully, just like the original ROBOMASTER, it will come to the rest of them, but here and now it is only going to be available in them. Now the EP, whilst it looks very similar to the existing ROBOMASTER, it is a very different unit. It has a whole host of new sensors, new compatibility, but that is only on the EP. And sadly, much of this is not backwards compatible with the existing ROBOMASTER model, including much of the hardware. Now, if we take a closer look at the new EP, it does come in two versions. There's going to be an engineer version and a warrior version, and you're going to be able to buy a kit which allows you to build both, or there's probably going to be a kit of one or the other. Now, it comes in the engineer mode with an all new grabber arm, which is controlled by the app or by the software. This is a mechanical arm which is bolted onto the top in replacement of the blaster, and it allows you to pick things up, program it, and do things like that. Now it uses a new servo that DJI have introduced as part of the EP kit as well to actually control the grabber, and this is going to allow you to do a lot more robotic projects with the EP once this becomes available to the rest of the world as well, and it opens up a whole host of new options from programming right through to be able to build it into anything you want it to do. Now, as I've mentioned, this kit is a new one, and whilst it is similar, none of this is backwards compatible. And at the same time, DJI launched their new open SDK that allows you to actually connect the ROBOMASTER EP to third-party hardware such as the Raspberry Pi, the Jetson, as well as the Arduino and other third-party microcontrollers as well, to allow you to actually run onboard software and control the EP directly from that, and allow you to do all sorts of other robotic combinations. Now, sadly, this isn't coming to the S1, and most of this is going to be limited to the EP only. Now, when you look at what they're showing, it's going to have a new equipment. You've got the new mechanical claw, which is controlled via the onboard software and the new servo. You've got the robotic arm, and you've also got now 4 new sensor modules that live on each corner on the ROBOMASTER EP. And these allow you to connect external sensors for measuring things like temperature, humidity, and other things like that. And they mount onto a new frame which goes on the bed of the EP or the ROBOMASTER itself. Another nice thing on this frame is that it is Lego compatible, and it means that you can actually put bits of Lego onto it and build it into a frame, and you can build all sorts on the top of it. And if you're going to use the DJI servo as well, you're going to be able to use all of that and connect it all in too. Another nice feature that they've added is a new sensor called a Tof sensor, and this allows them to do range finding. You can see that it's mounted on the top of the on the warrior module, and it allows it to either do object sensing or measure the distance of what's in front of it. And that, again, sadly, that isn't going to be compatible with the existing S1. Now, what DJI are saying with this is that it is one machine with multiple platforms. You're going to have a combination kit that allows you to actually build it either into the warrior or the engineer mode, or the sentry, depending on which one they want to call it. You've then got the engineering vehicle, or you've got the infantry stroke warrior vehicle, just like the original ROBOMASTER S1, and it's going to look very similar, but it does have some changes, and it does have that new TOF sensor on board as well. Now, the nice thing with the new DJI Open Onboard SDK means you're going to be able to connect it to those third-party multi-controllers. You're going to be able to do a whole host of robotic applications that you haven't been able to do with the S1. And whilst the S1 did allow you to do a lot of programming, it was very limited within the walled garden that DJI allow. And whilst a number of guys have taken it upon themselves to really dig into this and do quite a bit of hacking, probably isn't the right word, but really pushing the limits of what you can do on the ROBOMASTER, sadly it's not going to be anywhere near the level that we can do on the new EP model, and you're not going to be able to actually get that level of control on the existing one. Now, as I've mentioned, none of these new features are backwards compatible to the S1, and there is no upgrade path for it, not even by changing the multi-controller. We assume the multi-controller is different on the new EP to allow communication with all of these new sensors, but sadly DJI have stated that there is no option to upgrade an existing S1 to the new EP, and if you did want all of these capabilities, it does mean buying a new model. Now, as I mentioned, it does have a whole host of I/O input on this new model. You've got S-Bus, CAN bus, UART, you've got the sensor modules on each corner, which allow you to connect analog to digital inputs as well. So there is a lot more you're going to be able to do with this, and as time goes on, we're going to see people do it. Now, here and now, there is no pricing on this for the rest of Europe or US or UK. That hasn't been announced yet. We don't even know when we're going to see it. I would suspect it's going to be more towards the end of the year. Now, this doesn't mean the existing S1 is end of life or redundant. The S1 was really the start of this, and it still is very much an educational battle robot. It's just not at the same level the new ROBOMASTer EP is. And it is annoying that we're not going to be able to take these upgrades over to the S1. I would love to have been able to do it, but then again, on the flip side, I've always wanted a second one of these to be able to battle with, so I'm going to end up going that way and buying an EP for that, rather than going down the road of trying to figure out if upgrades are available for this. But hopefully, as soon as there's more info on this being available, I will share it with you guys. If you do have an S1 today, as I've said, you're not going to be able to upgrade it, but if you're looking to buy one, personally right now, I would hold off a minute until we know what the situation with the EP is, and then we'll be able to make a better decision when it comes out, whether it's actually going to be more expensive than the S1 or whether you're going to see a price drop on the S1. I don't know, but I would hold out if you haven't actually bought one yet and you have been considering it.